Yeah, let's do something new.
Well, I mean, like, it's a vote.
Why a vote?
That lasts. Yeah, so I could say I did that. Because that's, you know, that's what I live for now. Being able to say I did something different. Anyway, we are, okay, we're good. Taylor, when you are ready.
All right.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 PM. And the alternates, any additions to the agenda? None. Has everybody had the opportunity to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from last week.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of accepting the minutes from the last meeting?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, or the yeses have it, and motion is passed, meetings are accepted, the minutes are accepted. No citizens, no old business, we have new business at 237 Bennett Road. Proposal to pave an existing gravel road. Would you like to come up and tell us what's going on?
Sure. Just for me to sit or?
Oh, by all means, sir.
Whatever you want.
Whatever is comfortable for you.
Well, I represent Bennett Byway LLC. We all, on this private stretch of road, have rights of way on our deeds. The Buckleys owned a piece of waterfront that they sold, and when they did that, they moved out of the area, but they left the road behind. There was a lawsuit. The lawsuit has ended. The crux of it is that take the road into an entity. So we created an entity, Bennett Byway LLC. And then we decided as an LLC that we would vote on hiring an engineer after getting some guidance. And what we wanted to do is pave the road. It's kind of, but we knew we had to address drainage. So there's a lot of effort that's been put in here to address drainage. We know that when it rains really hard, our 12-inch pipe flows in the pond with runoff, and we want to stop that. The residents here especially, pipe comes out right now, this property. There's a plume that comes out here sometimes, and it's bothersome. We would like to have the runoff go into these dry wells, and we calculate, well, with the help of our engineer, that we can trap about over 5,000 gallons before any of it comes out here. I mean, it's a little bit with everything pitches, it's an in pitch, and the design is to not have dirt or any kind of fines washing it, but just have it come off the pavement, get trapped as much as possible, let it go into the ground. And in a really big storm, as he's, you know, as Norm has calculated, there will be runoff here, but it'll be much better than what we have today. And two-layer pavement, as you've seen, starts here. There's another 100 feet before we actually get off the property. We will just let that be as it is. So it's 700 feet of pavement, about 400 tons of asphalt to do this job. It's a big expense. These structures in the ground are 6 foot diameter. They are an added expense, but we think it's a lot better than the swale that's there now. The swale is good. The swale allows water to infiltrate. It's, you know, riprap fabric and then a deep trench with 3/4 stone. All that will remain. The water will be introduced through these 6 foot diameter dry wells with the grading on top. The lowest one being here, we're going to replace that because it's crumbling, and another 6 foot diameter dry well will be there. All together, we're going to capture 5,000 to 6,000 cubic feet, gallons of stormwater before it begins to get introduced. That's the volume of these dry wells plus the stone. You know, all your stones surround. You can get about 40% water in crushed stone. That's me talking. Norm has not introduced those numbers, but I've gone through those numbers. And the edge of the road should not erode because we want to put in riprap. There's more riprap that we would like. It's not shown on the plan. It'd be where the existing native soil meets the asphalt. There would actually be a riprap apron to help us push snow and let it melt, and all that would go into the existing stone that's on the ground. peak is right about here. Water going this way, it's very low pitch, but the engineers put in a pipe under this gentleman's driveway and created another swale of sorts down here. This is where I am, and we will let this infiltrate into the ground better than it's doing right now. Right now, there's kind of a storm track down the center of that gravel road that we dress from time to time. But the idea is to let it infiltrate as much as possible before it gets to this stream that runs here. It's actually on the property, barely, but there's a stream that feeds into the pond. Not have that affected negatively. So I think we've addressed the big salient factors here to the, the pleasure of, and the, a lot of oversight by all the residents. It costs more than I think it should, but the extra expense is what everybody wants. I've kind of headed this up. I'm not a civil engineer, but I do have an engineering degree by education. And I understand the plan, and I've reviewed it and talked with the engineer several times. It's the second revision. Adding these structures was a big change. No swale. The residents really didn't want to have that swale. They felt it was actually a safety issue. Fire truck liability. We carry liability insurance. We just don't want to have to exercise it. It's going to be about the same width it is now. It's just paved. There we're up here, about 17-foot wide road, maybe close to 12 feet wide there. And the use of riprap, and everybody retains all their shrubberies or whatnot. We've got 50-foot wide property, and everybody has either let it go wild or they have really landscaped it. The nature of the area won't be changed that much, but the nature of the water going into the pond, I think, will be cleaned up. I could show you a picture of plumes that have gone into the pond. Sudden storm, inch of rain, and slowly, right now, slowly the gravel is washing off of the road, and it does have to be dressed from time to time. To eliminate the water bars, there is an in-slope here that takes the water towards our structures. And the engineers found all that for us. As you can see, these topo lines are at an angle. So the actual direction of flow being perpendicular. Water wants to go towards the inslope side of the road and get picked up. And here the pitch is actually that is a bit downhill away from these houses to get collected here. That's the way I see it. Maybe I should have touched on all the big salient points on that one. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to expound. As I've told the membership, I can go on till midnight about this thing.
Are there houses here and here?
This is a shared waterfront for anyone on this side of the street.
So it's kind of almost like a beach area or some type of.
It looks like a meadow. It looks partly wooded, and there is a break, and it's beach access for these houses. There's a little dock there. It's owned by the same person who's across the street from it. He pays taxes on it. These all have rights to use it. And there's a stream over on this side. It's actually on the LLC property, crosses our property. As you can see, there is a reinforced concrete pipe right here, 18 inches. So we have a stream that crosses our property.
Okay. And that's the reason why this is not going to be touched or improved, or
it would open another can of worms as far as putting water into an existing waterway, collecting it and putting it in. In a sudden storm, that's the difficulty. Collecting water, where the goal is to put it back in the ground. Some would want that to be paved.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about it being paved. I was just curious as to, there's not going to be any improvements or any changes on this. And are there any existing problems on this? Is more to my point.
It can. I've seen it overflow. There's a second pipe. Someone's put in a 12-inch on his private property. So we have two pipes. it's pretty heavily wooded in here. I've cleaned this thing out at noon, and if the storm keeps raging, you can have this gentleman's property, Bill Isles, he's put gravel in there to try to just check that velocity of that water coming down. It will spill over he keeps very good landscaping here, spills over his break wall like a very even waterfall. I don't see any erosion happening here, but it makes the property kind of funny to use because you could get, inundated with a heavy flow coming down here. And those pipes, right now, they can get blocked by branches and debris. Tough to keep clear. If you get too much water, it goes over his property. So that's what I've seen. He has not requested that we address that, and we have not addressed it with this plan. The way to address this is I'll put 36-inch and try to collect it better on the stream bed upstream. Large rocks, it's a pretty rugged, force 5 kind of a thing coming down to that reinforced concrete pipe.
It's a steep slope too.
Yeah.
The water gets a lot of velocity in there.
All right, now, I kind of knew that upside hill was, I've been up there, I think, once.
I have not been up there. One of our members has property up on 165, and this frontage, I don't even see a path through it. But she comes to our meetings and she's representing that she would like this work to be done, and she's in as a member and votes on this stuff. She knows all about the plan.
So you're going to address this side, but obviously right now you don't believe that there's anything, this is an issue unto itself right now?
It is. The expense to take care of it, well, it'll be more engineering. To be honest with you, I said, just to save money, let's just do up to the crest. Let's address this. It's a slope, it's runoff, it's got plume in it that comes into the water. Let's just address this. Let's not worry about this. Let's just put some more gravel down there from time to time. Leave it alone. No one's asking us to do anything. And everyone said, continue with the pavement. For God's sake, why not? And I told the engineer, all right, put it on the plan. Worst thing that can happen is we choose not to pave it, get approval and not pave it. Everybody wants to pave it. And of course, there's all this additional work. Matter of fact, from station 500 to here, the roadbed was never upgraded and compacted like this. This roadbed has been replaced in roughly 2016, 2017. Tested for compaction, it's got water bars on it. Gravel is deep. Here in the spring, it's kind of soft. So the plan, whoever does this work, and I have some people lined up, they have to replace the roadbed. The only way to do it right, you can't put asphalt over something. So
We're gonna have to take it out. Plan to move it, places to put it.
it's a fair amount of additional expense for this last 200 feet. But everybody wants it. It's like, sure, I'll benefit. I'm right there at the tail end of it. Sure, I benefit. I benefit more than anybody else, as a matter of fact. So everybody's behind it. We will vote on, if you approve this, we will vote to adopt it. That's on our next meeting. If we have wetlands approval, we will vote to adopt this and then move forward.
I have a question. The 12-inch pipe is your heavy rain, your overflow, whatever. Is that large enough with that many square feet of hard surface? And I'm kind of looking to Joe because I don't know.
I'm not an engineer, so I can't answer that, but I think the design of the plan with the 5,000 gallons of storage is supposed to help negate that, because the water that goes in those dry wells can infiltrate and not just necessarily go into Beach Pond like it's doing that. There's no little.
I'm not saying it's not better, but if
Yeah.
you're getting rain an inch or two an hour and it lasts 4 or 5 hours, that storage isn't very much.
It's not gonna carry silt that anymore. The silt burden will be greatly.
What I'm saying is, will the 12-inch pipe be enough to hold the flow of a massive amount of water on a tarred surface.
We can ask Norm that at the next meeting. He'll be here and he can address that. But I think his answer's gonna be yeah.
No, I just, I say, I don't know,
I'm guessing.
I'm asking, I'm not accusing.
Have you seen his cover letter? He published a cover letter.
Yeah, it's,
He touches on that.
so everything about the plan,
14 pages.
he's got a
It's
statement,
a little one
the
page.
statement of use,
Okay.
water quality volume is just as state of Connecticut 2024 water quality guidelines for the first 1.3 inches of rainfall. And the calculations based on 12-inch RCPs capable of containing peak runoff from a 10-year design storm, and that's the standard. So the 12, he's telling us the 12 inches is correct.
Will this add anything or will remain unchanged as far as the amount of water that's actually headed down that direction from the road bed itself? Or will it decrease it? It sounds like it's too slow, so it doesn't sound like, with the exception of the possible minor added velocity, it sounds like it's the same amount of water it's gonna be heading down. It's not really making it.
Pretty much. I mean, I think you're gonna lose you know, right now, a little bit of that water does infiltrate in the gravel surface of the road. Now it's gonna be paved, so. But again, that's why we have engineers to design
He puts
those.
this in here, he said, yeah,
The swell,
yeah.
cross section of that swell on the
On the
plan.
next page, yeah. There's 2 pages. So all the details on the second page. Very well done.
Joe, can I get your professional opinion?
If I had a bottle of champagne right now, I'd break it open. That should have happened like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I have complete confidence in Killingley Engineering and Norm Tebow with, if he's signing this, where I can see his signature, then I'm happy with it. Yep. But I mean, again, at the next meeting, feel free to ask him, you know, hey, we're like 12-inch pipe, you know, do you think, you know, I think you're still gonna get velocity out there. You know, there's gonna be a plume, but it's probably gonna be more because of water velocity and not sediment being discharged into the pond. You know, that's always been an issue, you know.
Is there anything ancillary without creating a new problem or creating any significant, I'd say significant, but expense that we can have done at the same time while they're there? If there's just, you know, like a couple of bucketfuls of riprap or something that, you know, add to this plan, is there anything that can be done to mitigate any issue down at that end? Or is that?
I don't think so. I think they've done a really terrific job at designing this. And again, on the other end, the southeastern end, you know, you do have drainage issues over there, but we're not talking about the volumes that we're talking about here.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the slopes and the velocities that we are, you know, the water that runs down. The break in the road is kind of like right where the D is. That's where the topographic break
Over
is,
here?
somewhere around that station 51 or wherever, somewhere in there. When you go out there, it's a gentle grade.
Okay.
You know, yeah, the stream over here is causing issues, but I don't think that's, at this point, that's not.
All right, I'm satisfied with that. Does anybody else have any other questions? Now, Taylor, I didn't, from last meeting, was this the one that
Yeah,
was
this was the
approved?
one that was received and then, yeah.
So it was received. So we've already received it, it's been okayed, so now
We can vote on approval, right?
we can vote on approval on this one, but I just want to make sure that, because we just had an issue last month, want to make sure that was the case. There's procedures and I just don't want to goof it up. All right, so we're actually voting on approving the plan, which is without the engineer.
Mhm.
So there's no reason for him to come back if we approve this plan as of today. Does anybody have any comments, any concerns, anything at all?
You know, it's a great plan. It addresses a long-standing issue, and there's more detail on this plan than we typically see. Very well done.
Anybody else? All right, I guess I'm just looking for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the Bennett Byway LLC Bennett Road Extension paving project.
Approve.
Approve.
Motion to approve.
Approve.
A motion to approve the Bennett Byway pavement project.
Yeah, no, it's.
No, no, I'm trying to actually say that without.
Yeah, same.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Chris, second. Okay, all those in favor of approval of the Bennett Byway pavement project plan?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstain? The yeses have it. The Bennett Byway pavement project plan has been approved. Back to you folks and tell them that,
Now they can vote.
now you guys.
We will collect the money and have it happen with great attention towards erosion control during construction, working from the bottom up and cleaning out all our structures when it's done. These structures will collect a lot of anything falling.
But they're covered, yes? You have some type of grading or something over them?
A grading, yeah, it looks like a regular storm grate.
Okay.
The only way water will come out is into the ground, or if it truly overflows, we get a hurricane, we're due for a hurricane. I see something's got, well, this will be very interesting. 25 or 50-year storm, we'll see how it performs, but we would want to have it in before that happens. Because that happens, if that was happening tomorrow, we would have a lot of work on our hands, a lot of washout. With the riprap, asphalt riprap, and then vegetation, we feel like we're not going to have, leaves in the fall. I've already lined up back companies to come in when a significant amount of build up in the bottom of those companies will clean that right out.
Yep.
And it'll be dry stuff because it's dry. It'll just be muck at the bottom. This is what they do. And they charge by the ton. And they're not that expensive. It's cheaper to do this than it is to rebuild and clean swale. We try to clean riprap down the fabric. I've done it. This is much more efficient. Yeah, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for approving this.
Hey, you're very welcome. Best of luck with all your endeavors here. It looks like you have,
Project.
yeah, so it's a road to hoe, that's for sure.
These are for you to keep.
Yep.
I'll just check on my account online for the official approval.
Yeah, I'll do the letter.
If you need anything from us, let me know as far as any kind of further documentation.
Well, we're good.
Will you be doing the checks on would you want to keep in the loop as far as start date?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, just give me a quick call. Let me know what's going on. You got my number on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting, Joe. I'll stop out there and take a peek.
All right. Thank you very much for your involvement. You've been a big help right until now. You advised me from day one, couple years ago at least.
Mhm.
Get an engineer, start there, work your way forward.
Yeah.
So it's been good advice. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, we're gonna move on to,
Joe, you took your copy, right? Sorry.
yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I gotta
Joe
get
has
a copy
of the file.
Yep.
No correspondence yet? Mr. Crowe, do you have a report, sir?
The only thing I have, I don't know what's on the agenda. There it is. The only thing I have on my radar is, we got an email from DEEP regarding Jack Cipriani's property. He owns the other side of the dam on Beach Pond. We finally caught up to him and figured out that he's using their property for whatever he's got going on over there, his campground and stuff. So they wanted copies of our issues with him, back when he filled in the stream and did some other stuff over there. So they sent him an official letter stating that he has to clean all the stuff out of there because he's got all kinds of boats and he's put sand on the beach and he's rearranged rocks to make steps down into the riprap down into the pond and all that stuff, so. They're gonna be dealing with it, so it's really nothing that I see on our radar unless they come to me and say, oh, well, he did this over here, or he did that, but.
Remember a meeting, about that. We actually had his neighbors here that were concerned about its incursion on their property.
Yep.
And I think that had already happened.
That's when DEP got involved.
So I think probably, a little help from their neighbors.
They have an entire civil enforcement wing with a lot more resources than we do, so hopefully they'll just keep it on their lane. Any word about Mr. Grenier?
Nothing yet. I gotta give him a call. I was looking through all the paperwork, and one thing we did not do is give him a deadline. We never discussed that. And all the other details that we were going through, I think it didn't jump on my radar. We should really have given him a time frame to get the work done. Because like right now is when it needs to be happening. Right now, everything's just trying to get. So I'm gonna give him a call and see where he's at, if he's ready to get going or whatever. But I think maybe at the next meeting, depending on what I hear from him, we might want to revisit it and say, we want to see something done here.
That's
2 months or 3 months or whatever.
Easy fix.
Certainly before December.
Fall.
Yeah, you don't want to get into
Yeah.
late
Hydrology going back up.
Right.
That's a very easy fix. So it's actually just, together, if you just want to put that in on old business for the next meeting. And, depending on what Joe finds from Mr. Brenner. All right, anything else, sir? Nope. All right, there's no other business, I assume, as Taylor has indicated. Last but not least, I know Steve.
Motion to adjourn?
Ah,